Just the fourth team to win a game after trailing at halftime this season in Major League Soccer. The key numbers for Chicago, they remain the league's only unbeaten. Best road team in the league, as well as Chicago Fire. Yeah, the Jesse Marsch ejection had a lot to do with it, but some intriguing calls. A little sublime Brian McBride get down on the turf, my friend.
Lots of PK calls, and you know, some of them that we're going to look at this week and scratch our heads without a doubt. But you know what? You create your own opportunities. And Brian McBride there at the end, he felt a little push, and you saw him in the interview say, I had nothing else to do. Well, you could have stayed up, but you know, he feels a couple of hands on his back and goes down. But it started off early on with some difficult goalkeeping there by John Bush. Probably should have saved that, although it was dipping. Paulo Nagamura coming through again with a goal from the midfield.
25th minute, we begin our PK fest as Shavar Thomas would get called for the infraction, pulling William Conde down by his jersey. So the first of 3 PKs on the evening, and Cuauhtemoc Blanco came up and tucked it to Zach Thornton's right and found side netting. So 1-1 game.
And as we said before, when a weak PK is called, look on the other end, because the referee has it in the back of his mind. And Bakary Soumaré, this is just reckless, and at the end of the day, stupid.
You know, we talk about makeup calls, and the officials will say there's no such thing.
Come on.
But that's not right.
It's actually the beauty of the game.
I agree.
You know? The human element. I mean, he's not going anywhere, and he just goes right through him. This is a PK. Of all the PKs, this one's
legit.
PK.
Yep. Michael Galindo tucks it in, his third of the year. Chivas 2-1 on top at the break. We move to the second half. Jesse Marsch received a yellow in the 51st, gets his second here.
This is when you know that a player knows that he screwed up. All right, yep.
You got me.
Sorry,
and that's a captain, that's a vet.
Yep.
He knows this game is played. Save of the game, big Zach Thornton getting big as Patrick Nyarko, a little turtle here, puts the head in the shell.
You know what? And we talked about Zach getting points for Chivas. Here it is, 2-2. That should have been the end of the game. Finish it off.
But Nyarko would come back and tuck that one in to tie it up in the 89th minute, his second of the season. And then Brian McBride said post-game, I felt 2 hands in my back and
hey, you know what?
Went down.
Credit to him. I mean, this is a smart player, recognizing a situation, taking a chance. You know, did he push him? Yeah, he's got every right to be in that position. And Brian McBride goes down like a ton of bricks, gets himself 3 points, and they get out of Dodge with a great win.
Now, this is interesting, though, that Blanco will come up. He'll take his second PK of the night. Remember, the first time he went to Zach Thornton's right, and you're usually kind of taught, go where you're comfortable. Well, Blanco mixes it up.
And he
tucks in the game winner.
Double-jointed thing there, going back the other way.
Yeah, you love that little arrow thing. So Chicago Fire with a huge come-from-behind victory. And you and I talked at the beginning of the broadcast saying, all right, Chicago, yeah, they're on top of the East. Yes, they're the only unbeaten team in the league, but they don't quite feel comfortable as that team to beat. What do we take away from the Chicago victory tonight?
Well, I mean, look, you know, 2 wins in a week for Chicago. Another game where they're going to look and say, maybe we didn't quite deserve the win, but if you're playing well and you're getting these wins, or if you're not losing, and then you go into a place like Los Angeles, play against Chivas, they're playing so well, and you come out with a win, you got to start believing in yourself. I still want to see Chicago play with a little bit more swagger. They're a good team, and their record proves it, but they still have to have that swagger if they want to maintain that and then go into the playoffs and be that elite.